Am I wrong for opening a gift that was meant to be a surprise? A guy I'm seeing sent me a gift at the beginning of the year while he's out of the country. When it arrived, he told me not to open it and said he'd tell me when to. Weeks passed, and the gift was just sitting in my house. I got curious and opened it. It was a perfume, which I expected. I later told him I had opened it. He got upset and said he wanted me to open it on my birthday at the end of March. That confused me because if that was the plan, why not send it closer to my birthday? He said he sent it early so the perfume could settle for a few months before I used it. He felt I didn't listen because he told me to wait. I asked if most people would really leave a gift unopened for weeks. People are curious. I just happen to be honest. There's also the misalignment with how we treat gifts, because if I receive a gift, I am opening it. I am not waiting months. He believes in waiting and building the anticipation, and that it is his style. Am I wrong for opening it and telling him? Also, it's okay for people to give their own opinions that I may not agree with. That's why I posted this. What I don't like are the harsh words used to prove a point or to make me feel like I committed a crime. Thanks. You could have just asked when you'd be able to. I'm curious and impatient too, but I would have just asked why the wait and how long to wait. An adult would recognize that there was going to be a special date associated with the gift. That is deduction. An immature person with poor impulse control would open the present, before negating the association. You were in the wrong. Personally, I'd have stuck it somewhere out of sight and let my ADHD forget it exists, then not be able to find it when I'm supposed to open it. I have been slowly ending a friendship over what she told me she did. I, 26F, had a friend, 23F, I met last year. She's been extremely sweet and supportive, and she relies a lot on me. A couple of weeks ago, I went to visit her, and she confessed to me that one of her best friends gave her $300 to get him an ounce of top-shelf weed, and she could keep the change. She went to her person and found out that the top shelf was $260, but bottom shelf was $120 an ounce. So she went and got herself an ounce of bottom shelf, an ounce for him, bottom shelf as well, and then kept the change. She came to me and told me this story like it was nothing. She laughed and such, and I just felt so uncomfortable. I didn't know what to say in that moment, so I just said that was sketchy and that I had to go. Ever since then, I have been slowly creating more and more distance between us because I feel like this can very well be something she'd do to me. And at this point in my life, I need stable and honest relationships. I don't know if she's pretending not to see this switch or what. But she hasn't said anything, and I don't know if I should. Thoughts? Bakley stole $180 from a best friend, and if the friend is an avid smoker, he will 100% taste the difference. She's most likely lost 2 friends for $180. Good friends are priceless. She obviously doesn't understand this yet. Honesty is incredibly important in a friend, and it's not something you can switch on and off in any situation. They're either honest and trustworthy or they're not. She's shown you that she's not. LOL. If you can't trust someone to buy you weed, who can you trust? I didn't cry when I found out my dad. My dad died when I was 13. I didn't cry when the cops told us of his passing. My family looked at me like I was a monster. They still do. I thought that I had a strained relationship with my father, but it wasn't because of anything he said or did. It was because my mom painted him as a villain who wanted to ship me off to boarding school. My sisters reinforced this. I'm the youngest of 3. A lot of my memories with him were some of the best moments of my childhood. Once he started to travel a lot more for a lot longer for work, I didn't really realize just how manipulated I was. Literally the last conversation we ever had in person was me asking him, "When are you leaving?" I didn't know at the time, but I later realized just how much that must have hurt him. All of this was because of the narrative my mother fed me daily. I didn't cry on the way to the morgue, but I did after seeing his lifeless body there. My aunt didn't ask me how I was feeling. She instead turned to my mother and said, "Don't worry. Look, your son is finally crying." It's been 14 years since his passing, and not once did my aunt or her family ask me about my feelings or my life. They're using my lack of a father as justification for not wanting to settle down and not having a stable life. To my face, they criticize my appearance, tattoos, black-colored nails, my career choice, whether I'm making enough money or not, or the fact that I'm not married yet. And behind my back they go around telling the rest of my family about how they are lecturing me about needing to settle down. They have no idea who I am, what I'm doing, or how I'm building my life because they don't want to see my progress, they just want to see the result. I told my mom about the invasive questions my aunt keeps asking me, but her only response is that I should ignore her. I'm always anxious now because of the constant criticism. You should sit them down and get this all out to them. Sooner you do it, the better. Them painting him as the villain to an impressionable child, I need to answer for that. You should go and see with your entire family JFC. I'm so sorry for your loss. Well, you might need to do a further trimming of your family tree. If they are only good to bring anxiety to your life, then ask yourself what happens if you never talk to them again. If you feel peace, then go for it. She accepted my date invitation. I met this girl in 2022-3. To be honest, I don't remember exactly what year it was. She was a classmate of one of my closest friends. At the time I thought she was pretty, but as far as I remember she was into my friend. It wasn't mutual on his part, but I kept to myself to respect the dynamic. Fast forward to November last year. I had just ended a relationship and was getting back to my life. I ended up bumping into her briefly at a concert I went to with my friend, but she was with a guy. Still, we talked, and I ended up following her on Instagram. After that, we started talking more often. I was planning to ask her out, but she ended up starting to date someone else. We met a couple of times, continued talking normally, and everything else. Until a few weeks ago, she confessed to me that she broke up with her boyfriend because of some of his actions. Eventually, she invited me to go to the beach with her friends and supposedly our mutual friend. He lost track of the time and didn't go. I tried to arrange a few outings with her without thinking about a date, just to help her because she doesn't know the city very well, but she always had a reason not to go. But it was never anything to do with me, rather that she has social anxiety issues. Well, some things happened in my life and I thought, screw it. I'm going to ask her out, and if she refuses, our friendship will continue as normal and I won't change my attitude towards her, but I want to try. I just came and said, hey, I want to take you on a date, what do you think? And she accepted. Wish me luck. Bro, this is exactly how you do it, straightforward, no overthinking. Big win already just for asking. Go enjoy the date. Yay. Good luck. Don't fuck it up. You got this. Flex biceps.